Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Kevin. Kevin is from Michigan in the USA. So let's see what Kevin has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hello Kevin, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's
Very good.
my computer is not used to Zoom, so like I have it all prepped.
The image is very good, the image. I can see you very well.
Excellent.
I would apologize for my voice. I'm a bit rocky, as you can see. I had a sore throat. I've got some medicine here just by my side. I've been taking some medicine. I'm not feeling any pain or anything. I just, in the weekend, I was doing some shootings. I went out with friends for dinner and I was forcing my voice.
Yeah.
And on Sunday morning, I was literally like voiceless.
No, I bartend at a nightclub, and so I'm constantly screaming and yelling, so I get it.
There you go. When I go out with friends, like I force my voice talking, there is loud music, it's always a problem. Next day, I just need to drink tea and get something for my throat. It's always been like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Kevin, tell me, where are you from?
I am from Grand Rapids, Michigan, in the United States.
Amazing. And what's the best part of living over there in your city?
The ability to leave? No. No. It's a very quiet little city. I think it's technically one of the top largest 100 in the country, but it definitely doesn't feel like it. It's it's like over 200 years old, so it's fairly old compared to a lot of the places in the United States. But it's quiet, and I think that's probably the thing I like about it the most.
That's good. That's good. And you're saying that you work as a bartender in a nightclub?
Yes, I do. Yes.
So tell me a little bit about it.
Well, through the pandemic, not very many of our nightclubs stayed open.
Yes.
But we are the only. Well, we started as a gay nightclub, and then we kind of just expanded it, just so we could be more inclusive of everybody. But it is the only LGBTQ nightclub in Grand Rapids, and so I'm one of we have 7 bartenders, but I'm one of the weekend bartenders, so it doesn't interfere with school. So.
And the bar is open every day, Monday to Monday, or it closes someday? Yeah.
Yeah, we are open every day. There's karaoke a couple nights a week. There's drag shows a couple nights of the week, and then there's just pure nightclub dancing the rest of the week. So.
Oh wow, it's interesting saying that about nowadays. I think all the gay bars or even those straight bars, they're always very mixed, right? Like nowadays, you go to straight bars, you see so many gay guys around, and the opposite as well. Sometimes you go to gay clubs and you see so many straight people there, straight guys, and you're like, wow, that's actually it's quite nice to see that, isn't it? These mixed people around. Yeah,
I would say at least 50% of the clientele is on average. They are straight, and it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So it's not something you would have seen 10 years ago. So.
Yes, and it's interesting as well because I remember a few months ago I was going somewhere, I don't remember where, and I saw this bar, was a bar in a very random place, and suddenly I just saw this gay flag there, and I was like, oh my god, it doesn't look like a gay bar here, but I think they kind of they put the flag there just kind of to show people that it's okay, it's friendly, anyone can come. I was like, oh, it's quite interesting to see. So I think nowadays it's very mixed. I think that's a good thing. It's a good step forward.
I wholeheartedly agree. So.
Right. Yeah. Right, Kevin. So are you ready to go on a beautiful journey for your memories in life and to share your point of views?
I am. Let's go.
Very good. Very good. So welcome to William and the Magic Box. Got to hear my lovely box, okay? Full of random fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to move a little bit before the first question. Okay. And just before I do that, if there is a question that you don't have an answer for, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? I can take another one. It's all very friendly, right?
Got it.
Let's do it.
Brazilian folk?
Yeah, yes, like very similar. Oh yeah, my God, you're very good with music. Wow.
Meu português é não bom. mas eu falo não muito.
So why do you speak Portuguese? Why? Any reason?
I actually am planning on moving to Brazil next year once I finish my schooling here. So I'm in Portuguese classes and I've got a lot of Brazilian friends. So yeah.
And why Brazil?
I think Brazil, there's no logical reason that Brazil isn't on the same level economically as the United States. And I see a massively huge potential there. The people are fantastic. Everything is just, I'm going into international business law, like I am currently in law school. And so I think Brazil is just this market that is just, I mean, it's more than ready to just explode. And then it's got so many things like going for it. It's got so many natural resources. It's got the population. It literally is just so ready. They just needs better leadership. That's the problem I have ever seen with Brazil. Like you've got Bolsonaro now, but he's going up against Lula. So like Bolsonaro's already complaining that, you know, just like Trump did here in the United States, there's fraud. You know, like, well, the election hasn't taken place yet. So, but.
My God, you are very into it. You are very well informed about the things happening in Brazil. Very good. Wow.
Yeah. I'm really excited. It's one of the very few things that I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. So.
And you've been there before or not?
Yeah, I just got back in April from Brazil. I spent a few weeks there, and I was kind of already thinking about moving to Latin America. And then when I was there, I was planning on Mexico, to be honest. But when I went to Brazil, I was like, no, this needs to be the place. Right.
Wow. Right, through the game, I'm going to ask some more questions about your trip, okay? So we can explore a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Right, let's go for the first question. Oh, I love this question, actually. Send away a message to someone, but you don't need to tell who this message is for. Just the person who's been watching will know.
Okay. Oh, this is fun. What do I want to say? You are not alone. And while it may seem very bad right now, I assure you, in just a couple months' time, you won't even think about it anymore. I promise. And if there is an issue, you can always pick up the phone and call. I'm right here.
Wow, I love that. Amazing. Very good. Very good. I'm sure this person must be very lucky to have you around, for sure. Let's go for the second question. Let's do it. Right, Kevin, next question for you is, what does your best friends do that comforts you the most?
We all like to cook, and so just spending time cooking together. Just we'll be in the kitchen and just doesn't matter what we're cooking. Like we tried to make pão de queijo the other day. It didn't really work out how I wanted it to, but it worked out pretty well. So like we did that, but then we made like some Italian food, and so just trying new things that we've never done, and just I think that is the best way to comfort someone like me. It's just like spend time, have fun, do something different. So.
Very good. And your best friends, most of them, they live in the same city, or they are spread around?
I will say I consider one of my Brazilian friends to be one of my best friends, but I will say the other ones do live here in Grand Rapids. So,
okay. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Right. So before the next question, Kevin, tell me what's the best part of your work, in your opinion?
My work? The money? No.
As well.
Right. No, it's a fast-paced environment. It is fun. You know, a lot of people complain about having to work at 9 to 5. I mean, I go to work at 9 at night and I'm there till 5 in the morning. But you know, I spend the first hour setting up everything to get ready for, like, you know, people to start dancing and coming in. And then realistically, I don't start bartending until like 10. I'll make a couple drinks before then, but that's when people start rolling in. So like I am working nonstop and time just flies by from, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. when we close. And then from 2 to whenever I get out, it's, I'm spending time cleaning and getting ready and prepping and doing paperwork with the people who I consider really good friends. And so we're just enjoying ourselves and talking and chatting while getting everything done. So there's, while it can be stressful because when you're super busy, but realistically, that's 4 hours. And everything else is you're just spending time with friends and just goofing off and having fun. I'd say that's probably the best part.
And I believe as well, when you work in this kind of environment, the time just flies as well because people are having fun. At the same time as well, you get the good vibe, you get the energy from them. So it's in the end of the day, it's like it's just fun. You know what I mean?
Right. Like I'll be dancing and they'll be dancing. Half the time I'm singing, so it doesn't matter.
Very good. Right. Next question is, what is the biggest difference between you and your best friends?
Honestly, my best friends are very similar to me. And I think that's why we get along so well. But I will say the biggest difference is the gender. I identify as a male and they're primarily all identify as female. And so I'd say that's a huge difference. But yeah, we're all fairly similar. We're all, about the same level of education. We all like to do the same things. We all kind of like the same place in our lives. But I mean, I think we work well because we have such similar pasts that we have bonded over. I call it trauma bonding, but so we bonded over that. But when you bond over trauma or something to that effect, a lot of people deal with it like one of very few ways. And so my friends just happen to deal with it the same way I did. And so I don't think there is a difference realistically besides, I identify as a male. So.
Great. Yeah. And do you have siblings as well?
I do. I am one of 11. You're joking. No, wow. Some of them are stabbed, but yeah.
It's big family.
Yes.
So you are the middle, you are the youngest, one of the oldest? How?
I'm number 4. So I think that puts me in the middle, but like the older tier of the middle. I am 33, but my oldest sibling is like 40 and my youngest is like 14.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love to know that. Like, oh my God, that's amazing to see a big family, 11. Wow. Next question for you. Let's do it. Okay, Kevin from Michigan. Next question for you is, what do you miss the most from your childhood and why?
I used to read for fun all of the time. I was a nerdy kid and I would literally just go in my room and I would read all night. And by the time I'd realize that, I need to be getting ready for school, I would be like, oh no, I'm tired. And now I read because I have to for school. And it gets to the point where I've got all these books on my bookshelf that I want to read. But I am just so tired of staring at pages that I can't do it anymore. And so I think that's probably what I miss the most, is not being able to read for fun.
Good, very good. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, so tell me, you said that you were studying criminal law?
Business law, international business law.
Sorry. So tell me a little bit about it.
So I actually like contract law a lot, and I don't know why. It's a typically fairly boring and dry subject, but it's basically making sure contracts that you sign are fair and you're not being unjustly punished, or you're not being taken advantage of in any situation. And so that's why I like it. And an international aspect allows me to potentially work anywhere in the world and still base it off of say you're in London, right?
Yeah.
So anyone who wants to do business in London that need to work with American law, then they'll have an American lawyer, like contract lawyer, help set up to make sure that they're not violating any of our laws. At the same time, they'll work with a lawyer from the UK trying to figure out, okay, we're not gonna mess with all these laws, so here's where they fit together. And you'll see, especially when it comes to the UK, you know, a lot of European governments, a lot of basically every country in, you know, the Western Hemisphere, all of our systems are basically the exact same, just minor differences here or there. And so to me, it shows that we're a lot more similar than we are alike, or than we are different, excuse me. And I think that's really cool. And it's just something as simple as a contract. And it's so stupid. It's so stupid thinking it like that, but it's fascinating to me. I don't know.
No, just the way you explain it for me now, I'm very fascinated as well. And I was just thinking now, when my channel goes like explode worldwide, I know who I'm gonna come to kind of help me all the way to feel I'm signing the right contract or not.
Oh yeah. Just send me and be like, no. Or like, okay, you need to renegotiate. Yeah.
And I'm glad you're speaking Portuguese as well, because now I start shooting Portuguese for my channel. So very good. You are preparing yourself to get there, and I'm preparing myself else to get there. So we can work together in the future, okay?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Good one. Next question. Ooh, what is the most dramatic argument you ever had?
You know, I'll say anytime my entire family and I disagree on politics. And it's basically that I would say that's probably the most dramatic, at least lately. It's like I don't talk to most of my family anyways, but it's always just like, you know, they'll say XYZ and I'm like, well, that's just not true, like but and so that gets fairly dramatic, and so I will stick to that, you know, like anytime I talk to my family about politics.
Oh yeah, politics can go, there's always a drama regarding politics and religion as well. Religion, politics, you never bring this topic to a table or to a, you know what I mean?
I will. I don't care.
You will?
Oh yeah, I think things need to be discussed. We stopped talking about things civilly a long time ago. So we need to get back to it, at least in my opinion.
Very good, very good. Next one. Right, next question for you is, what would be the title of your memoir?
I'm a fairly sarcastic person, so like it would probably be something along the lines of, no, I don't know why. Or like, I know. Probably, yeah, that really happened. I don't know, like it's so stupid. It would probably be it. Like just something completely asinine and just like not real topical. I mean, just like something sarcastic and just something that isn't eye-catching and makes you not want to buy the book. So that's what it would be. Like, oh, we're gonna go to the next book.
I think people would buy it when they see this guy. There's just a twist thing there, you know what I mean? When you say like, oh, they're not gonna buy, but that's what gets the people attention.
Oh yeah, it's like, yeah, sure. I'm not gonna be on Oprah's list, you know, like.
Next one, let's do it. Right, tell me a little bit about your trip to Brazil.
Oh, so I met a guy on Instagram, and you know, we became fast friends. And so I was like, I had some time off from school, and I was like, hey, if I can get to Sao Paulo, like, could I stay with you? And he's like, yeah, sure. And so I stayed there for like 2 weeks. We went to like Rio, Peruíbe, Rio de Janeiro. I guess saying Rio, everyone assumes Rio de Janeiro, but like there's 1,001 cities named Rio something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The city where I was born is São José do Rio, claro. There is Rio as well.
Yeah, Rio with the R and the.
Yeah.
But no, it's just, you know, it was awesome. Like, granted, it was really nice bringing, you know, US dollars to like Brazil, because the real is not nearly as powerful as the dollar is. So everything was very cheap for me. It was great. But like, it was during the pandemic still, and like the state of Sao Paulo did have a little bit more restrictions on it than most other places did. But like the malls ended up opening right as the end I was there. I got a tattoo while I was there.
Oh, really?
I can't pronounce the name of the bird, but it's the feather, and then I got the Brazilian flag colors.
Okay, can be arara or...
Yeah, that's what it is.
Arara.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't feel unsafe at all. I mean, I had so much fun, and just everyone was so nice and relaxed, and it's not like the United States. I assume the UK might be similar, where I was just talking to a friend today where it's like you basically work until you die or you work yourself to death here. And I'm like, but that wasn't the case.
And
You
approach,
know,
yeah.
yeah, it was like here in the United States, you don't have guaranteed vacation. So like if I want to go on vacation, I could lose my job. I could, I would have to save up enough money to not only cover my trip, but like to make sure I make up lost wages because it's not a paid vacation. Whereas they were shocked to find out that I didn't have 6 weeks vacation. I was
Wow.
like, no, that's not how it works here because, we're hardworking and like all that nice, whatever jazz they like to pull. And so and I couldn't imagine 6 weeks of vacation a year. And so like they seemed to understand, at least in my perspective, that some things you just slow down, and everything is going to be fine. You can still slow down and relax and enjoy yourself, enjoy your time with friends and family. And that's not something, I mean, we do it here, but we really don't, because we're always concerned with, am I going to get sick? I don't have healthcare, so am I going to be able to pay for that? And so it's just a completely different environment and I think that's part of the allure. It's so different that it's fantastic. People are beautiful, and they were friendly, and the food is fantastic, and so it's got all these things going for it, and it was paradise. And I have a tendency to go off on tangents, so you'll need to stop me if I do.
It's okay. I'm glad that you had a good time. I'm glad that you got this impression of being there. I think sometimes when you visit those places, and people think that it might be a certain way, but when you are there, you face it a different way. You know what I mean? I like when people go to a place and they have a different impression as the most of the people say or around. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Next question is, what's your funniest memory of your time at school?
So for high school, so we'll say, because I had a lot of really funny things in college, but in high school,
you can share us with one of the college if you'd like. I'm curious now.
The college is funny, at least for me. So in the United States, we always have this gun debate. Okay, well, first I should say my bachelor's degree is in political science. So things like the gun debate are going to come up naturally all of the time in school. And so we were 95% of political science majors are pretty liberal. And so you have that 5% that aren't. And so I was in a class and we were talking about the gun debate. Like, should guns be more regulated? Should they be free? And then one guy started screaming about how we need the guns because, to quote, they did 9/11, and it's just nonsensical. And then he was just talking about how he needed his M16, needed an M16, he needed an AR-15. And so I made a joke, and I can't remember what the joke was, but it alluded to the fact that he needed a big gun because he had a small penis. And he didn't get it. And literally my professor and half the students just started laughing, and he just didn't get it. And
wow.
And he just couldn't understand why everyone was laughing, and he freaked out because everyone was laughing at him. And then he just rushed out of the class. And it was probably the funniest single joke, I think, or experience rather, in school that I had. So
now I must ask you, it was just being sarcastic, or you knew for sure that?
Oh no, just being completely sarcastic. I was like, oh, you need something big because you're tiny, one of those things.
I was like, how did you know that?
Oh, no, I had no idea, and did not want to find out. I am gay, but I have my limits.
That's funny. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Usually, what's the first thing that you think about when you wake up?
My dogs.
Oh, how many dogs have you got?
I've got 3. One of them is fairly old, so she doesn't sleep on my bed with me. But my two of mine do. I've got 2 boys and 1 girl. Actually, this is a painting of one of my boys right here.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And my two boys, they have to sleep while cuddling. And like my dogs are like 100 pounds. So what, 45 kilos, right? And so it's and so they sleep like when their version of cuddling is like sometimes they'll just be laying across my chest, and so I'm like, or just like full on like spooning kind of thing with them. So they're always there, and I always am like, okay, we need to get them to eat. We need to go for a walk. We need to go outside. And they are the first thing I think of when I wake up. So,
that's sweet and good for you. Very good.
I love dogs. It's fine.
Next question. Right, next question for you is, what 3 things would you want to be remembered for?
I had to be remembered for 3 things. I'm pretty funny, so I'd like to be remembered for that. I know sometimes I'm just being mean and people think I'm funny, so either way, it's funny. Funny. If I truly had to be remembered for something, I would want to be known for bringing people together, opposed to like tearing things apart. I kind of already said I think things need to be talked about. We've lost the civility, and that is not to say there are things you shouldn't get mad about. There are wholeheartedly things you should get mad about and things you should not tolerate. But I think a lot of people's hearts and minds can be changed if you discuss. And so I think I would want to be known for someone who brought people together, someone who was funny, and then I don't know, like maybe if I had like $1 billion, that'd be cool. But no, I'm the type of person I wouldn't ever have $1 billion because I'd be like, oh, here you go, here you go, here you go. Like, or that, or maybe developing the warp engine. I am not a physicist, so I wouldn't be able to do that in any way, shape, or form, but I'm a huge fan of Star Trek. So, like if I could do that, that would be cool too. Like I'd be the next Zephyr Cochrane or something. I don't know.
Oh,
so,
very good. Next question, Kevin. Let's do it. Before the next question, as you are a gay man, did you always have the support of your family being gay? How was it growing up as a gay child?
So I didn't come out until I was 19, because I grew up in a very traditional Catholic family. Right. And so like I just assumed like they were all anti-gay. For the most part, it's been quite good. My mom, dad didn't care. Siblings didn't care. Where it got a little bit taboo was once you got out of the nuclear family. It was so like my aunts and uncles, they're all cool with it, but like they'll say things that are like snide, and like I was like, really? Is that what you're gonna say? Or like my grandma for 5 years still tried to hook me up with women, and like my grandfather was like, stop it, he's gay. In the middle of a restaurant, I was like, come on guys, like wait. But for the most part, it's been pretty good. I don't really talk to one side of my family because it was particularly bad, especially when there was a court case that came down in the United States that allowed a baker to deny, or the right to deny a gay couple baking them a cake for the Supreme Court. So it's legal discrimination because it's someone's artistic license, and that caused a really big rift in my family. And I was like, for people who said they were supportive of me, it's weird that now you're telling me that you should be able to discriminate against me because I'm gay. Like I've got my family, a lot of them own businesses. So I'm like, so you wouldn't allow me to eat at your restaurant because I'm gay? And they're like, well, that's my choice. I'm like, but you like said you were cool when I came out. Like, why is it changed now? I don't know. There's just, maybe it's a new cult thing, but like this mob mentality, but for the most part, it's been fine. But I was old enough when that happened, thankfully, that it didn't really affect me. If I was a child, or if I was younger, like if I was even in my early 20s, I think I would have been devastated by that. But I was in my late 20s when that happened, and now I'm in my 30s. And so now it's just like, okay, well, this is not surprising.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we move on. So yes and no.
Okay, sure. Next question is, what have you learned during this lockdown since last year when the world went upside down? There's something like positive you took out of it?
Honestly, the biggest thing that I learned is I have the world's worst attention span. And I've always known of it like ADHD, and like diagnosed, I can get like the Adderall and the medication or whatever. I don't like taking it, because like, I don't know, it just doesn't make me feel good if I'm not moving, I don't want to take it, So school went online, and regular school is tough, and law school is an entirely different beast. And doing that online, at least in the United States, it's an entirely different beast. I know in Brazil it's only a 4-year program, but in the United States it's a doctorate. I can't remember what the arbitrators are called or the program is for like the UK. And the only way to describe it is toxic, like just being in law school. And that wasn't by me, that was by the University of Michigan's medical school. They call it toxic compared to what it does, for what it does to the human body, just the sheer amount of stress. And so being in law school, stuck at home, teaching myself law while going to school online has been just awful. And I've got 3 dogs, so like I literally any excuse to like not stare at my screen or not do my homework. I'm like, hey, let's go play, But I also learned that I only drank when I was going out with friends. I didn't realize that like I don't really drink. I've still got 4 bottles of cachaça. I've got 7 bottles of tequila. I've got a couple bottles of rum that like I bought because my friends were always at my house. And then once COVID hit, we all stopped going to places, and I still have those bottles. I never drank them. So that was also something really weird. I was like, oh, okay, I don't drink. I don't have the attention span, but I still like to dance around when I'm by myself. So I guess that's all that matters.
Right. So you kind of took time to yourself, and you kind of learned some new things about yourself.
Yeah. I lost 30 pounds. I decided to become a little bit more dedicated to getting healthier, and everyone I know was gaining weight. I was like, and I was the only one losing weight, but I was like, look, if I'm not doing anything, I'm not going anywhere. There's no reason why I can't run outside. I bought a little dumbbell set and started lifting weights. It's still super scrawny or super skinny, but still, it's definitely not nearly as bad as it used to be. And so, yeah, just really taking the time to like learn about myself. Like, you know these things, but you never have to deal with it. So
yeah, of course. I've got 3 questions left for you.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Let's do it. Right, before the next question, I'm a bit curious now about your background. As you could see, I can see your dog is one of your passions, your love.
Yes.
In the middle, there is your Star Trek, symbol. And the other side, I can see another picture as well. There is any meaning, or it's just like, it's just something that you, to look your house look beautiful, or it's an art.
One of my friends she's great. I absolutely love her. And she's really trying to encourage her boyfriend to follow his passion, and he started painting, and he really enjoyed it. And so she was trying to she secretly started promoting his work, trying to get people to buy. So he was like, oh, well, people like my stuff, I can buy it. And I saw this one, and it reminded me, I don't know if I can, it reminded me of Jupiter. And so I was like, I need to have that. And so I was like, so I bought it. And so I really liked it. And so I just hang it in my room. And so I see it every single day that I am here, and just a reminder that, the simple things that a friend can do for one another, I guess.
Very good.
Never put that straight. I'm going to figure it out later.
And I'm
So,
sure he's going to be very happy for you to show you off it. I'm sure he's going to be very happy as well.
oh yeah. Yeah. I've done a couple of interviews, and like all my interviews have always been here, and almost everyone always asks about the painting. And I was like, and I like here's his number, here's his information. Actually, his name is Adam Waters if you want to find him on Instagram, but I can't remember what his stuff is. But yeah.
That's what friends for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next question for you is, what bad habits you wish you could stop?
I'm addicted to nicotine and caffeine.
Oh,
Yes, I used to just smoke a pack and a half a day, and so now like I've switched to like one of those vaporizer things, and like it's been in my hands randomly because I'm very fidgety, so I've been like twisting it like around my hands. So the caffeine not so much as the nicotine, but that would be, I would say, the absolute worst, because otherwise, I wouldn't say there's any other habits that I really have. I mean, I have a tendency to self-isolate when I'm stressed. But I do find that, I think that's common.
yeah, it is.
Because I don't want to risk getting mad at someone. And so like, if I just isolate, then I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, so I will say nicotine. Nicotine is absolutely the one I would like to like not be able to, or to just drop.
Do you think one day you're going to be able to quit?
Oh yeah. I will say, like, I hadn't smoked or used a vaporizer in years, and then I started law school, and then one of my friends had it, and then I was like, I had one, and then I was using it while studying. I was like, this, like, it was just parked in my mouth, like just thinking about it, and I was like, okay, so I went out and bought one, and then I was like, oh no, this train has already left its station, and here we are. So I want to do a marathon, and I think once I start training for the marathon, I'm gonna stop. But that won't be until January when I start training for a marathon. So
cool. 2 questions left, Kevin. Let's do it. For the next question, tell me your favorite Portuguese word you've learned so far.
Cachorro.
Of course, of course, of course, of course.
That's I love dogs. When I was in Brazil, I did not realize that the double R had an H sound. And granted, a lot of it's confusing to me anyways. And I feel like there's a lot of random like things that have that H sound. Like, cause it's technically, if memory serves me, it's Rio de Janeiro, right? It's not Rio. It's Rio, not Rio.
Yeah, Rio.
Rio. And so I'm like, okay, so it's the double R, but sometimes it's the single R. But no, every time I saw a dog, I would just go, cachorro, or I should cachorro. And like, no one corrected me because I was saying the R. I like that. So obviously that, another one, lixo. So whenever I go to a different country or explore, I always look up the word for garbage or trash. And then I always introduce myself as that. And so like, I introduced myself as lixo when I was in Brazil, and people were just like, what?
If I would say in America, if you go to America and I say bin, would you know that I refer to trash? If I say, oh, I need to put this in the bin.
No.
Or, no, really, bin's a very
like, you can say bin, and like I think like it would, if I heard you say bin, I would stop and have to think about the context.
Okay, I see. Okay. Right. What has been the happiest point of your life so far?
I will say it was when I was in Brazil. I woke up, I was at, we were in Rio de Janeiro, and the hotel I got overlooked Copacabana Beach, and just, I had opened the window and just looked out at this beautiful view, and I didn't have a single care in the world. And that was the second I knew I needed to move here. And it wasn't about like, I knew I had responsibilities. I still had bills I needed to make sure that were paid while I was there. And so like, it wasn't that, it was just, I had never seen something so beautiful in my entire life.
Wow.
At least like serene nature wise. And I felt this peace and contentment that I had just never experienced before. And so like, I just, turn back, I wake up my friend, I'm like, you need to go look outside. He's like, yeah. And I was like, what do you mean, yeah? I live in the second cloudiest city in the United States. It is gray half the time here. So like, it's like gray over 200, like I think like 40 days a year. It's just gray skies. So no sun almost ever. And I was like, it was just beautiful, like, and I went down, grabbed the caipirinha, and then just like, just sat on the beach and just watched the waves thrash against the shore. It was amazing. So.
Yeah, being Rio de Janeiro, it's magical. Even for Brazilian people who, for me, comes from the States, when you are there, you just feel like, wow, that's something like unbelievable. Since I've been living abroad, I've been like 20 years, I've been away from Brazil. And all the time, sometimes when I go to Brazil with friends, like, foreign friends, European or English, and they always go like, oh my God, William, the energy here is something here that I never experienced before in my life. There's something there in the city. And it's true, I think it's all connection about the seaside, about the mountains, about the, the modernity, high buildings, the favela as well, the port. It's all connected.
And it's oddly beautiful. It's a favela, and it's like beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there, but like it's good to see from a distance.
Oh,
it's dangerous. But
I remember.
Peruíbe was pretty similar for me, my experience there. Granted, I will always say, I think the reason why I enjoyed, Brazil so much was my company. Just everyone I met was just fantastic.
Which makes a difference as well when you meet someone, when you have people around you as well, like very approaching and very lovely. And so I think that's so.
Like got welcomed into a family. It was great. I loved it. So.
Right, Kevin, ready for the last one?
Yes.
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay.
Right, let's go for the last question for you. Right, last question is, if you could be in somebody's skin for 24 hours, who that would be and why?
Wait, does it have to be a person? Like, I think I would love to be just just see the world through my dog's eyes.
Yeah.
Like granted, like their brains don't work very fast like ours do, and like their eyes are colors different. Do they just what do they do when I'm not home? Like that I couldn't see on a camera. Just I don't know. I would love to be in like my dog's skin just to see. But like people wise, honestly, I don't think there's anybody I want to be in their skin with. I think that's the beauty of kind of like humanity. It's like you're not going to be in their skin, and yet you can still relate, and you don't have to see what they're going through to empathize, or you don't have to experience what they're going through to empathize. So I don't think I would want to.
I love your answer about the dogs. Very cute. Amazing.
Dogs can take precedence.
Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, so I'm going to give away some words and you just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with religion.
Bad.
Money.
Bad.
Love.
Non-existent? I don't know.
Okay. Family.
Painful.
Sex.
Okay.
How about life?
Unending. No, these sound really messy, like morbid, like you're giving me the answer of like, oh no, like this. Unending as in like, not as in a bad thing, but unending as in like, there's so much to experience. It's not as bad as the other ones are.
How about fear?
Conquered, or to be conquered. So not like
Friendship,
hope,
desire,
path to evil,
I like this word. Regrets,
buried,
success,
eye of the beholder,
wish,
work,
happiness.
in time,
How about if I tell you Grand Rapids, the name of your city, one word?
one word for Grand Rapids, white,
Interesting. How about USA, one word?
racist,
The last one now, Brazil.
beautiful,
Good, very good. Let's pretend now we're going to meet your lovely best friends for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friends, what is the most beautiful thing about Kevin? And what's something that he still needs to improve on, to work on? What do you think your best friend will tell me?
Oh, I know exactly what they'd say. We are both how do I explain it? She's so much better at explaining this than I am too, and that's the problem. We both we try to do everything for everyone, and so we take their problems as our own, and so we try to we're fixers. And so I would say she would say one of the best things about me is, I'm generous and I am always willing to help at any cost. But what I need to fix on is I have a tendency to come off very condescending when I speak with people, and I don't realize I'm doing it. I'm a firm believer in the Socratic method. So you always ask why when you're talking to someone, like, well then, but why? But why? But why? And so it comes off like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get you there because clearly you don't. And I don't mean to. So, I don't know if I can swear on your channel, but
It's okay.
so I would say that's probably the biggest thing I do need to work on. And it's not like I mean it. And when I realize what's happening, I will walk it right back, and then I'll be like, no. But if I don't think about it first, yeah, I'll just say something quick and then be like, oh, he's a dick. And so, like, oh no, it's not what I mean. Yeah.
All right. Best friends, they know us sometimes better than we ourselves, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Let's play now, Kevin and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. Right. You can ask me a question now, Kevin.
Okay. How many questions do I got?
Just because you love Brazil, I'll let you ask me 2 questions.
Got it. Why did you move from Brazil?
Right. Do you have another 3 hours? Right. Just long story short, one of the main reasons is because of the language. I've always been fascinated about the English language. And it's funny, when I was 12, I started studying English, and my dream was to go to USA. My dream was to go to America. You know, this America dream, I always had that. But at the time, as I was a teenager, of course, my parents, they couldn't afford me to move to the USA to get a student visa or to, to work or live there. So for me, was at the time was impossible at the time. But sometimes life they direct you in a direction that you're not expecting. And long story short, I had the opportunity to go to Portugal when I was 19 years old. I literally was knocking those travel agencies like the doors and ask for opportunities. That I always had this dream to live in a country where the mother language was English. And then I went to this lady, and she said to me, why don't you try to go to Portugal instead? And from Portugal, you can go to England, or you can go to Ireland, where they speak English as well. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't think about, because I was so focused in America. You know, the Brazilian, we tend to think about going to America. A lot of Brazilian people, we have this tendency to live in the USA. You know what I mean? This American dream. So I never thought about, and when she suggested that, she had a friend who was living in Portugal, and she was like, oh, I've got this friend live in Portugal. She rents a bedroom for Brazilian people, and I can introduce you to her. And if she likes you and things goes well, why not? And that's how I came to I was living in Portugal, and I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to live in Portugal because I could see where my language comes from. Of course, they speak in a totally different way, totally different accent. Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful that I spent 5 years there, that I got to see where my language comes from. And so that's the biggest reason why I left Brazil. And I've always been very fascinated about, living abroad, going after my dreams. And that's was the biggest reason why I left Brazil.
And people always forget, like, Brazil is like 10 times the size population-wise as Portugal is.
There's just go. Yeah. I remember in school you just studied about, the history thing, how it's been colonized and this and that. But I never heard a Portuguese person talking before in my life. And even my friends, when they go to Portugal, most of Brazilian people, they have the same kind of icebreaker. So they go like, my God, what they are talking. And it's funny because I've got some Portuguese friends in London and Brazilian as well. And sometimes when people get together and some Portuguese people are talking, Brazilian people go like, huh? And I go like, oh, he meant that. Oh, she meant that. Oh, she meant that. It's quite fun. It's quite interesting actually to see the difference. But they understand us, like they understand the way we speak, like very, very clearly.
Yeah, it'd be like me speaking to someone like Louisiana, and I'd be like, what? What are you saying? Like, these aren't words. Yeah. Okay, my second question I get to ask you. You have a dog, right? Correct?
A what?
You have a dog, correct?
No, I don't.
Really? I thought you had a dog.
No, I do. I don't have a dog. No.
The second question, so we're done. I was like, can I see your dog?
Oh, no. Actually, my flatmate, she got a cat. Kevin, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy the experience?
I did a lot. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for taking the time and to spend this time with me. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
But before you go, I would like to share a positive message, a positive quote, something that inspires in life.
It is important to remember that borders are artificial, and just because someone lives on one side of a border opposed to another does not make them better or worse than anyone else. And the sooner we realize this and embrace this, the sooner we're going to be so much better off as a society. So, yeah, that's what I will say.
Beautiful. I love that. That's beautiful. I like that. Very good. Very good. Kevin, it was a pleasure. Thanks so much. I really enjoyed the interview.
And all right. Thank you.
Muito obrigado.
Beijo.
Beijo. Tchau, tchau.
Ciao.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.